Was it more? I mean, they like changed the animations of like half the bosses and enemies and mini bosses. Finally. Yep. Finally, Obamium. Like, as far as the straight up nerfs go, there was only a couple. There was only King of Puppets Phase 1, Simon Manus Phase 1, and I don't remember what else they nerfed, but there was a couple of nerfs and the rest was like animation changes, which like changed the entire game pretty much. Oh, did they make Luxasia's Phase 2 Lightning deal more damage to herself? I didn't know that either. I played mostly on the old patch for a while because they fixed all the glitches on the new patches. I don't know. I think like they ruined the flow of combat a bit with the updates. It's still a fun game to play, but the flow of combat was really messed up with the updates. Too early? Oh no, that was fine.
And I can also that you're not then why I am Carl.
Dear. Oh dear. Yeah. I mean, for a new player, you're not going to notice it as much. Maybe you will, but on the old version, it felt like attacks were slightly delayed, but it wasn't like detrimental. I don't know, to like the flow. It's hard to explain, but it doesn't flow as well. Cuz like your brain kind of gets attuned to like the puppet and animatronic animations of the game. So that's not an issue. Like the attacks being delayed is not an issue. It's that every attack is delayed and they were delayed more and more with the updates. Coming off of Sekiro, I mean, I think Lies of P still has like fantastic combat. Like I think it's still like a 9 out of 10 video game. I think it's better than Dark Souls 1, 2, maybe not Dark Souls 3, but it's definitely better than Dark Souls 1, 2, and Demon Souls as far as combat goes. But yeah, these are just kind of small little nitpicks. weapon is that? What, my starter weapon? It's the Uchi Katana. Bones. Speaking of Dark Souls 2, Aggie, like, Aggie started Dark Souls 2, and she, coming off of Elden Ring into Dark Souls 1, no, I think it was Dark Souls 1, and then Elden Ring, and then Dark Souls 3, no, then Liza P, and then Dark Souls 3, and then Dark Souls 2. She is not enjoying it at all. And I basically told her that, like, Dark Souls 2 is not a good game on your first playthrough. It's pretty awful your first time around. It gets a bit better, but it's not good to start out with. Like, the first 20 hours are pretty miserable in that game as you're on your first time through. You agree? Yeah. Like, if you're playing games like Liza P, Elden Ring, Sekiro, DS3, like games that have very modern flow and like modern game mechanics, it's just very, very rough. Yeah, the slow healing. Yeah, she's like, why can't I heal? And I'm like, you gotta wait, you gotta stand still and do it. Thought that was funny. Life gems. Yeah, I told her. I'm like, life gems, life gems, life gems. You gotta stock up. Estus is so bad in that game. But she's making pretty good progress though for her like first day. She got to the Lost Sinner on her first day, which is like really good progress. Mars, thank you for the 2 months, dude. I appreciate that. Enjoy those emotes, man, and the no ads. Welcome back, dude. You still recommend it? I think Dark Souls 2 is also a pretty good game. I think it's a solid game. It's just, I don't know. It's weird for a new player. Oh, really, Michael? Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Luxasia, I was stuck on Luxasia for like 3 hours on my first playthrough of Liza P. After playing every single Souls game and in speedrunning Elden Ring. I was stuck on Luxasia for the longest of like almost any boss that I've done in Elden Ring. I mean, now she's kind of like cake for me, but that's after 1,000 hours, you know? No boss is going to be hard for a speedrunner, really. The Luxasia script back then, dude, the fucking katana. The katana script was so hype. That was so much fun to route the katana all ergo bosses run. I agree, Viper. I mean, I think that like Liza P was kind of like it felt kind of like a demo game, if that makes sense. Like for the devs, like it was their first like really big release. And it was like I feel like it was kind of like a demo game. Like they kind of went all in on it, and it was like really fucking good. But I think their next game, or like even like the DLC, they'll make improvements that we've been talking about for the past year and a half. Speaking of Liza P, I will be doing it at Randomania. I'll be racing against Mitch. Yeah, weapon optimization is like actually like a really big part of like what makes Liza P so unique and so much fun, in my opinion. Like when Aggie was playing Liza P, she opted to use an advanced build with the elemental weapons, and I was surprised because like she would just use whatever is like most optimal every boss fight, and that was kind of how she like got through the game. Very smart approach. Obviously, I would like tell her like what boss is weak to what, like once she would ask about it, but yeah, Viper. Well, I think it's because, I mean, the game gets like AAA attention, right? Like it feels like a AAA game. Even though most studios with staff that small aren't making games like that. What weapon did you guys use in your first playthroughs of Liza P? I mean, obviously nowadays the glaive just kind of takes over most playthroughs and people realize that it's like the best weapon in the game. But I think I've heard like a lot of umbrella users and a lot of katana users for the most part for first playthrough. And then like wrench baton slash like Wrench, booster glaive are also pretty common. That's the booster glaive Mars. The crusty greatsword, yeah, the 7 coiled sword, I think is what it's called. The one with like the guard parry and like the explosive Ash of War. Yeah, Mars. I know what you're talking about. The Laxasia one, I think. Whatever that one's called. I don't know what it's called either. The Bloodhound Blade? Yeah, I used the Bloodhound Blade in Liza P, dude. Oh, the crusty greatsword. Yeah, yeah. I thought by crusty you meant like the clown. The clown greatsword. Yeah, Molada. That's like the no-hit weapon. That's very much like the Serpent Hunter of Liza P. It's a bit hard to get, but once you get it, it just fucking demolishes. Oh my god. Excuse me. I don't even know what that noise was. Yeah, I like the build making in that game, dude. The weapon handle system like really made build making like a real thing. I think that like it's a bit basic at the moment and like it's kind of easy to solve what's like a good weapon, what's a good handle. Like maybe if they had also made Ashes of War and Affinity a thing that you could do to your weapons, that would maybe be like a bit better for the next game. I would love to see like, you know, swappable Ashes of War, kind of like Remnant. Like a gem, yeah, that too. Like Bloodborne. Bloodborne's gem system is kind of brilliant, but we rarely ever use it in speedruns and challenge runs. We just use the most powerful physical gems, but there's like actually like so much beneath the surface of Bloodborne gem system that we just don't even touch. Holy Sword's really, really good, Michael. Yeah, so there's like a Liza P randomizer that's out right now. It's like very basic. You can only randomize items. And there's only like set seeds that you can use. You can't actually like use the randomizer unless you like... It's hard to explain. It's really hard to use the program, the randomizer program. But anyway, I've used like almost every weapon at this point by playing randomizers. Like the Manus bonk stick is so much fun. It does so much poison damage. It's so broken too if you have Ergo to spend with the Ashavor. I think the Tyrant's Dagger is best in Slot Viper with the City Long Spear. Because you can do double buffs and it's like insane damage and insane speed. And you can crit too. I keep missing the Magnus split, dude. Maybe I should make a split when I obtain the Great Slurs. Yeah, Emelada, I believe you're talking about the Tyrant's Dagger. You get it from the Vanini box in the Opera House. That has like the 30% crit chance plus the Grindstone Ashavor, whatever it's called. Grinder, whatever the hell it's called. I don't know if you got that loadout idea from a streamer or like a speedrunner or whatever, or if you just like thought of it yourself, but that's like kind of like the BIS weapon combo in Malata. That's like the min-max, like best possible weapon. Which is kind of funny that you found that in your first, or one of your first playthroughs. Michael, thank you for the tier 1, dude. Thank you for the brand new tier 1. I appreciate that. Much appreciated, dude. I didn't craft the frost grease. I might get back to deloading Radahn, dude. I don't know if this shit's worth it to not deload him for like 5 seconds. I don't know why there's game music on right now. I thought I turned off the game music before the run started. Here, let's turn that off now. Aziz recommended it. Yeah, it's ever since the update to slow handles. That's been one of the best handles in the game. They buffed slow handles with fast heads. Yeah, no worries, Michael. Glad you're enjoying. Hey, thanks, Soldiers. The rapier handle, yeah, it's also pretty good too. There's like a lot of viable combinations for first playthrough, which is what makes it so cool. Like with ER, there's not as much variety as far as like what's really good in meta, but Liza P has like so many meta options. A couple weapons kind of suck, but that's kind of bound to happen in a game like that. I saw a first playthrough using the most horrendous weapon combination I've ever seen in my life, by the way. Like, no shade to them, but they were using like the live puppet handle, which was like the, it was like the, you know, like the big live puppet axe thing. It's like a giant axe. It was that handle with the curved sword blade. It was, my eyes were fucking bleeding, dude. I was like, what is even happening right now? But that's part of the beauty of the game, is like using crazy weapon combinations like that.
You have I wish to a night luminary. So now.
The Spear of Honor, yeah. Never really used that weapon. And like, it's funny because even though the live puppet's blade is technically inefficient because it's not like a thrusting blade, it still works because of the base damage. That's kind of funny that that actually works. I think there's two best weapons in the game. There's the Spear of the City with the Tyrant's Dagger, and there is the Coil Stick handle with the live puppet blade.
Clench your teeth.
I think those are both the two best weapons in the entire game. Motivity cranked handle for Coil Stick with live puppet. The Charger 2s are about as fast as the Coil Stick, and it's a fucking live puppet blade. It's so broken. And the Ash of War is obviously really broken too. The like front flip Ash of War. You can just slam for like 2k plus late game. That's what I did for my all bosses hitless run. Most fights were scripted with that. You would just like, you would do a couple of throwables to prep them for status, and then you would do the Ash of War. Then you would throw like one shot put and they would stagger. Then you would use Fable Catalyst and do it again. That was like every single boss fight in my all bosses no hit run. Which is still the only all bosses no hit run, by the way. It's the world's only and the world's first. It is quite the run though. To do all bosses no hit, like it's kind of a lot. It's like a 4-hour run. I was waiting for DLC to come out to do all bosses no hit, but they never released the DLC, so I can't do an all bosses no hit run with DLC. But I will be doing that when the DLC drops for sure. I'll be racing for world's first DLC no hit for that game. Come on out of there. No stamina.
Of our dynasty.
I could have maybe gotten the 1 cycle there, but yeah, we're behind record. Rip. Because there wasn't a 1 cycle, that's why it's behind record right now. I don't know if you need it to get record. I don't think you do. So we'll like just try to keep going. Favorite non-From Soft Souls likes? I mean, Lies of P is obviously #1, but I also enjoyed Mortal Shell a bit. Not a big Souls-like enjoyer. Remnant's also fun, but I wouldn't really call that a Souls-like. It's kind of like a, not a roguelike, but it's kind of like a action thing. I don't know what I'd call Remnant. I don't know if I'd call it a Souls-like, but yeah, I do like Remnant. It's like a looter shooter action game. Yeah, Souls plus Destiny, kind of, yeah. Crab game, I thought crab game was okay. I didn't get too much into it. I don't know, that was kind of like a bad time in general, just for like streaming. I wasn't having a whole lot of fun with streaming, so I didn't really put a whole lot of time into crab, and that may have been why I didn't enjoy it. I was really struggling during that time, and that game was not enough to distract me, I guess. I don't know. I much preferred like Elden Ring stuff at that point. Did I try Time Messia? I didn't try it, no, but I've seen people play it. Looks kind of bare bones, but like I've heard that it's good, and like that might not even be a bad thing that a Souls-like is bare bones. Is this the Mitriz category? It is. Yes, this is the category that Mitriz owns. He's the CEO of it. Hello? Okay. Okay. Need to work on that aim. I can beat him. I don't know. We'll see how my first run goes. Or my first real attempt to the end goes. We'll see how I feel. I've only been running this category for a handful of days. And I've been kind of on and off with streaming, so haven't really put a whole lot of time in yet. I'll let you know after I finish my first run. The answer is probably. Because it's a new category with new strats that are developing still, so anything's possible, I guess. For any percent, it is Viper. For any percent glitchless. The poker is faster. I don't know if the poker will be better for DLC bosses because they kind of move around too much. That's really unfortunate. Okay. I really need the Scadu. Thank you. The 11024 is not your PB. It's like a fake run, Mars. It's like with practice save files. I kept loading up and dying and loading up save files and dying. It's not a real run. How come there's no auto split on High Road Cross? I don't understand.
Only fire you have it now to become the thing as
Oh, really? Someone got a 54 with Death's Poker? Oh my god. That is pretty dang fast. I did not hear about that. Is that like a today thing? That like kind of like just happened today? Oh, I did this in the wrong order. Whatever, it's fine. It's not gonna make a big difference at all. Just gotta warp back to High Road Cross and talk to Hornsent. And then do the Somber 8. You definitely are, Viper, because if it didn't happen today, then there's no Death Poker world record. Because the Death Poker one was 53 minutes. Yeah, and that was the run with like 500 attempts. I was shocked. I would have been shocked if someone had like gotten the record that quickly in this run. And like that dominant of a record would be like insane.
I praise to you, priest. I must uphold then, and sure.
Might start doing this segment now. This might make more sense to do it like this, actually. Yeah, no worries. I was just like confused because like if it wasn't like today, then I would have been completely out of the loop as to when that would have happened. How much different is front versus back section of Shadowkeep? Good question. I don't know the exact numbers, but I think from my bingo timing, it's as long as your Hippo fight is less than 3 minutes, it's faster to go front side. If you're just going for Messmer Romina. But obviously backside has a lot of implications in bingo. But just for a run like this, front side's a lot better. Because Hippo is like less than 60 seconds in this category, so that's like a 2-minute time save over back section. Also, you get Scadu from Hippo too, which speeds up your Radahn fight. It just depends on your Hippo fight, Boko. That's the biggest factor. Is the Hippo implications. This looks faster to do it this way. Maybe it's not.
resume.
Maybe not. It was 2 seconds slower, I guess. That was scary. You can just one tap you with that, even on force Scadu. Ugh. Oh, nice. Good. Good. I cannot believe he didn't die, but I frame that, I guess. Don't really know why he didn't die. That's kind of scary. But yeah, Boko, if you want like my answer about bingo for frontside versus backside, I do think that backside is generally better. And if you watch like my tendencies in my later matches, you'll see that I tended to favor backside a lot more towards the end of the season. I had like a mid-season like frontside Hippo obsession, and then I realized that it's kind of not as good in a lot of ways. Like outside of the obvious of it just not being better for like Gaia stuff / hinterlands, it also kind of hemorrhages progress towards ADM. Yeah, finals is pretty good, Viper. Chris played it really well. Just a couple of unlucky snipes is what cost him the game pretty much. Like, people will look at the score and say that it wasn't very close, but... Oh, that's right. You mean the charity event. My bad, yeah. That was a good match. You should definitely watch it back. The match versus Tom was really good. I enjoyed it. Just Hippo and parries. Well, it's a little bit more than that. It's Hippo, it's parries, it's anything in Rao. So that's like Crucible Incant. That's Scadu progress, which Scadu 10 is definitely better for backside anyway, because you can just do Hippo from the back. I mean, there is other synergies that you can do with frontside Hippo. It's just very situational and not always the play, and very rarely is it actually the play. I don't know why I took off my bow. I'm also gonna grab this in case I die in this area, because I've died here before. To the Kindred of Rot. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. I mean, this fight only is slower by about like 1 second, but it is definitely slower. After Mitch and I have tested it so much, comes out to about like half a second to a minute slower, or half a second to a second slower, not a minute. Perfect, I think. Yeah, nice. I learned the quick setup for this skip after doing it all season in bingo. One way, I just learned a completely new way for this run. Oh, I don't have any mana. Okay, thank God I have a mana potion. I normally take it off. Lost time to the bow setup there. What's up, Over? Favorite matches in bingo season? That's a good question. I liked NPC versus CBD a lot. I mean, if you mean my matches, my favorite match was versus honestly versus CBD in the semis, just kind of cinema. But other matches is probably CBD Tom. Trying to think about all the good ones. I mean, Chris versus 8F was obviously a banger. We had some good matches this season. Oh shit. Anyone in chat have like a favorite? Oh no. Oh my god, what? That's what happens to you? Oh, that's fucking bad. Oh, that's an incident. Okay. Holy shit. That's really bad. Yeah, Aggie Chris was really good. Oh, Bushy Poo, that was a good ass game. Bushy Poo was really, really good. I forgot that match, dude. I had that trauma removed from my brain, dude. The trauma that I experienced, like, rooting for Poo will, like, forever live on, dude. I was so happy for him because he was gonna get his first win, dude. It was gonna be so hype. Oh, you can double stun them if you go like that. Did not know you could do it like that. Hi, Toronto. Yeah, exactly, Toronto. And it wasn't like people were rooting against Bushy. They were just rooting for Pooh. And that was like the best part about it. Go. Dude, he's not staggering. Jesus, that was so slow.
America, a curse upon thee. Messmer, their pain, all that they felt. Do you understand? We met upon his was sublime to think he when he himself to say it. The death of no in vengeance if make and I
We need one more point into health. 29, 55. Let's see the levels there. Hook. Stagger. There's butterflies everywhere over in this area. Lightning backhands, yeah, I know. It's people kind of caught on too late too. like Sweat and I were doing it in practice matches, and we were both kind of like, wait, this is kind of fucking disgusting. Why is nobody doing this? And we kind of just like did our own thing. Nobody really picked up on it, and then it just became like the best option pretty much. And nobody really like looked at them as like a viable option. And we're like, okay. I mean, if you guys really think bleed is better, then keep using bleed. Bleed definitely would have been better in match 1 of the finals versus ADM. I'm convinced that bleed would have been a little bit faster. Just because I don't think that NPCs have bleed tolerance mechanics like bosses do. I think they just can bleed over and over again the same amount of swings. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that NPCs don't have like bleed tolerance or like frost tolerance the way that bosses do. Yeah, Mars, that was like the one time where I think bleed is better. Like super early on into the game where you don't have any stats. I think bleed is like a tiny bit better. Oh, okay, maybe I'm wrong then, Izaz. I didn't think that NPCs had like tolerance to status, but I'm sure you would probably know better than I do because you've done like shit with Gideon with no hit runs. I've never even really messed around with Gideon besides the speedrun strat. Then I wonder why bleed is better for ADM than lightning would be for like early game. I mean, it's like the lack of dexterity, right? But I just wonder why, if he has like bleed tolerance, why it doesn't slow down at the end of the fight. Because Chris's damage was going to slow down, by the way. I don't know if you guys knew that, but like, if he does have bleed tolerance, then Chris's damage would have slowed down to like a crawl. And he might not have even been able to outpace lightning even with bleed early game. I did for Consort Mars because he has 50,000 HP. So it's worth it on it's worth it on Consort for sure because he has so much HP. CBD got cracked with Dancer Charm. Yeah, well, that's the other thing. It's like lightning works really well with Dancer Charm as well. Because you can run like lightning with lightning scorpion and Dancer Charm, and then rot sword and ritual sword. You can pretty much go like full damage with lightning. What do I need? I need Golden Bow and Frost Grease, right? And just the Bloodhound's Fang. Hey, thanks, Lauren. Appreciate that.
Don't you dare approach Mikula the Kind. Needle Knight Leda and Dryleaf Dane will never allow this.
Oh, I don't have music on. No frost proc? Okay. Still no frost proc. Okay. Can someone explain that to me? Where's my frost proc? Hello? Dude, where the fuck is my frost proc? It's supposed to proc before bleed. Are you serious? Dude. Are you fucking kidding me? Where's my frost proc? It's supposed to proc faster than bleed does.
Will never allow this.
Are you fucking kidding me? Dude, it's not proccing my frostbite at all. Dude, it's not working. My frost grease is not working. Okay. Frost grease doesn't work, I guess, in your left hand. It's just bugged to not work with Leda. Cool.
Make the world.
Dude, that's so fucking frustrating. Are you fucking kidding me? Why did my frost not go off? Is it just bugged? I guess you just can't use frostbite in your left hand. It just doesn't work. That's so frustrating, man. I just fucking lose sub power to that, I guess. Very cool. Very cool, man. Very, very cool. I think it's bleed there. Yeah, it's definitely bleed there. Oh, I don't think it's gonna really matter too much, but phase 2 is not going to work anymore. Just go for the kill. Don't even go for the fancy script at all. Just play to not die. Didn't work. Okay, well, we finished a run, I guess. Whatever. Okay. Okay. Whew. We finished a run. Ain't too bad. Ain't too bad. Ain't too bad. Besides the fucking death on Leda to Frost Squeeze not working for whatever reason, I guess, and then also phase 2 script just not really going my way for Radahn. I kind of fucked it up, but yeah, just like a solid run. Just like a solid first real run to the end, I guess, without loading any save files and whatnot. So that's pretty good. We'll take that. Yeah, thanks for GG's, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it. What, New Game Plus? I mean, all Elden Ring speedruns are done on base New Game. I don't know if I'll upload this. I mean, it is like a huge jump. Yeah, it is a big time jump for sure. My previous PB was like a 109 in this category, so 102 is pretty good. So I'll probably put this on YouTube tomorrow or something. So yeah, that's not too bad. We'll take it. Yeah, for sure. GG's. GG's.